Hey crew, Conrad coming at you with a classified ad review. This one coming out of the northwest of the United States. I figured we'd start with a couple of these camp shots just to give you an idea of what it's like out in the dunes. I must mention, this does not include the trailer or the truck. This is just a review for the sand car. But I like to dream and imagine myself there, so I thought I would start here. So these campground pictures were taken in Winchester, Oregon. I've never had a chance to travel up to these dunes, and I'm just looking at all the green. Look at this backdrop. Amazing, because for us, the Glamis guys, the Dumont guys, it's just all brown desert, right? I've got to take a trip up here and check out these dunes one day. Now check this out, the full lineup, right? You and your buddies rolling in or rolling back to camp. I'm not sure which direction they're going, but I mean, isn't this fun? God, I can't wait. We're still a few weeks away from our dune season here in the Southwest, and boy, am I ready to go, and so is everybody else that loves the dunes. All right, so I'll stop geeking out about these awesome photos, and let's jump into the classified ad review. All right, here we go. So it looks like this car is brought to you by Sandcar buy-sell member Tyler Bentz. He is out of Spanaway, Washington. He states, if you are in the surrounding states, Oregon, Idaho, delivery may be an option. So don't let that Washington scare you away. What do we have? Turnkey and ready to rip. Street legal, which is pretty cool, which means it's going to have the windshield, blinkers, and mirrors, etc. A 1915 VW, fully rebuilt with a build sheet, always important. Running a bus 3-rib transaxle, he states, come here and run for yourself. Got a few videos of the last trip out at Winchester Bay, and we actually have a video to share of the car running here as well. But otherwise, let's jump in. Okay, so for this car, some of the things that I noticed right away, it looks like we've got a Bug Pack Fugitive chassis or styled after a Bug Pack Fugitive, which is going to be a 2-seat rear engine. This car is set up as an IRS, which is going to make it really comfortable to drive in, handle much better over the whoops than a swing axle car, so you're going to be very comfortable. The other thing I noticed too is it's got an X-brace up across the front here with this tube running across. Now that's not standard. This was added in at a later date. Or when the car was built, but what's really cool about it is it keeps the frame from flexing or twisting, I should say. When you've got this front end tubes down here and here, without that X-bracing, they tend to want to walk a little bit. We also have a Type 1 aluminum beam with shock towers, always important to me. It looks like some Type 1 trailing arms with some spindle mount wheels. All right, let's jump into the next picture. Okay, so let's see what we see here. First thing, Douglas heavy duty spindle mount aluminum wheels. I know those are because of that star design. That 5-spoke immediately tells me that that's a heavy duty wheel. Then we're running some Douglas aluminum wheels in the back with some Sand Tires Unlimited paddles, which I'm not sure what the size of those are, but we've got some Razorbacks in the front, which greatly aid in your turning ability. I see, looks like a center console run up here. The lighting, LED light bar, a couple LEDs here, some old school, what do we run these? Laser Star, that's right, Laser Stars. We used to run these back in the 80s and the 90s. Also, with this being street legal, it's got the rear view mirrors on it, right? And he's bought the ones that have the lights in them as well, so that is pretty cool. Looks like some standard buckets, removable steering wheel, some breathers back here, dual whips. Next. All right, so let's see what we see on the rear 3/4. So I was able to blow up this picture here. Actually, I'll just do it for you anyway. We have a 1300 by 15 Sand Tires Unlimited. Now, you might hear 1300 or 1300 plus. The 1300 is this tire that we see here. A 1300 plus has an extra inch molded into that carcass. So it gives it a little bit wider, a little bit more flotation. But for this package that we've got here, that's a perfect tire. You're not going to miss that extra inch if you're thinking, oh, I need the pluses. You really don't. You're not going to see that much of a difference in it. Also, what do we see? Oh, rack and pinion steering. I missed that on the front shot. So that's a real nice setup that you've got your rack and pinion. Looks like some sort of a, I don't know what kind of gauge that is. I don't want to say. T-shifter, again, removable steering wheel. It looks like all of your switches are set up here. Passenger footrest, always important to have that set up. Fuel tank set up high. It looks like some sort of a storage box maybe right here. Oh, look, I see some reverse lights. And then here's this 1915 with a tri-mill style exhaust with the tip, some breathers. But overall, and look at that panoramic rearview mirror. So it looks like it's set up and ready to dune. Let's jump into the rear end of the car. Okay, so let's jump into the business end of things. He said it's got a 1915 cc VW in it with a build sheet. recently rebuilt, which is super nice. Plus, it's mated to a 3-rib bus transaxle IRS. And it also looks like we've got a set of disc brakes on the back as well. Let's see what else we see. Oh, the oil cooler line's coming through. I don't see where the oil cooler is at, but that's a nice addition as well. Let's see, typical dune buggy taillights. These are my favorite. If you've been a fan of the show and you've been watching it, you know I love the round taillights. And then it looks like he's got these ones set up as blinkers, right? Because he did say that it's street legal. And there's those reverse lights, but a nice chrome and polished tri-mill exhaust. Looks like a Camco style tip, which is going to reduce those decibels. It's going to quiet up the car a bit for you. Yeah, I love the rear view mirrors. The visibility out of this is pretty cool. Next. And he did actually send me a video of the car running, and let's listen to how smooth this thing goes. And look at these dunes. Sounds strong. Looks like a lot of fun. Doggy, doggy. All right, on to the next. Okay, folks, so here's the final photo that Tyler supplied to us. And one of the things I wanted to mention is, check it out. It's got the dual whips with the American flags. If you happen to be a member of our Sandcar Buy Sell Crew Facebook page, if you run an American flag on your whip, chances of you getting on the cover photo that I update every 3 days goes a lot higher. I just want to mention that. I digress. So let's see what we see, and we'll close this one out. We've got, with the LED lights up front, we also have these down here. So we've got some blinkers with that windshield. How fun would this car to be to take to the grocery store or go to the drive-thru? Just running your errands around town would be a kick in the ass. And let's see, I don't think I see really much else on this. This is pretty much one of those really basic built buggies where you're going to have a Volkswagen power plant with an IRS bus transmissions. This thing's going to give you miles of smiles, trouble-free smiles. That and the fact that it's street legal, it's not just going to sit in your garage, right? You can throw some dirt tires on it and head it down the street, drop your kids off at school. It'd be a lot of fun. Next. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, one of the things about this car that makes it super fun is this is a cab rearward design. So what that means is the driver and passenger seats are really close to the paddle tires. So what does that mean to you? Wheel stands. This car's a lot of fun to do wheelies in. So if you find yourself in front of a little bump or something like that and you just bump it, hit the gas, and you can do wheel stands in this car really easy versus a car that's a cab forward design where the seats are more close to the front and they don't want to come up. So these things are a kick in the ass and they're a lot of fun to drive. But otherwise, that's all I've got. Thank you for watching. See you in the dunes.